They called it an unfortunate misunderstanding. That's what the Galactic Council labeled the extermination of Eden 3, a flourishing human colony at the edge of the Orion Spur. But there was no misunderstanding. The Thalkesh Confederacy, proud members of that same council, had unleashed hellfire upon the colony's oceans, boiling entire continents into steam. 5 million civilians, scientists, farmers, children, vanished beneath waves of liquid fire. The images reached Earth hours later. Screaming voices, a burning skyline, a little girl clutching her mother's hand before a fusion wave erased them both. Human envoys arrived at the Council's citadel in person. Ambassador Hale, old and worn, pleaded before the gathered species. His voice trembled not with weakness, but with restrained fury. Eden 3 was a peaceful world. You will bring the Thalkesh to justice. The chamber erupted in laughter. The Thalkesh High Lord, draped in golden chitin, stood and sneered. You overreach, mammal. Your kind expands without permission. Consider it. Pruning. The laughter grew. The Jurath, cold reptilian diplomats, hissed amusement. The Viri, with their 1,000 eyes, blinked in silent mockery. The council speaker, a towering crystalline being, slammed its staff once. Earth's grievances are noted, it said, voice echoing through the chamber. But the matter is closed. Ambassador Hale stared at them all. At the marble pillars, at the banners of so-called galactic unity. He whispered a single sentence that the recorders caught but none in the chamber took seriously. Then the matter will reopen. In flames, he left without another word. Humanity's seats in the council chambers sat empty from that day forward. The laughter that echoed across stars, for a while, nothing happened. Trade continued. Fleets patrolled. The galaxy turned, and humanity vanished into silence. To the council, that silence was proof of submission. The Thalkesh celebrated their victory with parades across their desert capital of Ixthra Prime, where children played in the skulls of human settlers pulled from Eden 3's ruins. Council media channels mocked Earth's inaction. The primitives know their place, one broadcast said. They cannot challenge the council's order. The phrase became a meme across alien networks. Know your place, Terran. Even among the neutral species, whispers grew. Humans were fierce once, they'd say, but they've gone soft, too civilized, too bound by ethics to truly fight. The Thalkesh sent fleets to human borders to ensure peace. Patrols occasionally fired upon human freighters and accidentally vaporized them. The council issued regrets and moved on. They thought Earth was broken, but Earth was listening. In the cold halls of Luna Command, beneath the sea of tranquility, humanity prepared, not with noise, not with vengeance shouted from the stars, but with the cold precision of predators sharpening their teeth in the dark. The silence before the storm. 37 days after the council dismissed Ambassador Hale, every Terran relay went dark. Communications ceased, trade routes emptied. The galactic community laughed again. The humans are hiding, said the Thalkesh Chancellor. They will fade quietly. Then came the Erebus signal. It was first detected by the Vial Observation Array, a listening post orbiting an uninhabited moon. A pulse, coded, rhythmic, distinctly human, echoed across subspace. Then another. Then thousands. Each carried the same chilling message, broadcast in every council tongue. By order of the Terran Assembly. Section Protocol. Reclamation is in effect. All systems involved in aggression against human colonies are designated hostile. No one knew what reclamation meant until the stars went dark. It began with the Thalkesh patrol fleets near the Perseus. Rift. Their last transmission was a distorted scream. Multiple warp signatures. Unknown tonnage. Closing fast. Then silence. The council assumed pirates. But then it happened again. And again. Entire Thalkesh outposts went dark, erased without trace. Orbital debris fields spun silently where fleets once stood. Then humanity reappeared. They didn't come with pleas. They didn't send envoys. They came with black ships, vast angular behemoths, their hulls absorbing light itself. Each bore the sigil of the Terran Vanguard, a division unknown to alien databases. And from those ships, a simple transmission echoed, Eden 3 remembers. The day the skies split and the 100th day after the massacre. The Thalkesh homeworld looked up and saw the impossible. The skies fractured into shimmering rifts as thousands of Terran warships dropped from hyperspace. Not sleek, elegant vessels like those of the Council races, but monstrous creations of black steel and wrath. Massive dreadnoughts that blotted out the twin suns. The lead ship was the TSV Vengeance. Its captain, Admiral Corin Vale, spoke only once to the Thalkesh planetary governor. For every child burned on Eden 3, a city will fall. For every soul denied justice, a world will kneel. This is not negotiation. This is sentence. Then came the bombardment. Humanity had developed something new. Tidefire warheads, weapons that turned atmospheric moisture into plasma waves. They unleashed them on Ixthra Prime seas, recreating in perfect symmetry the horror of Eden 3 from orbit. It looked as if the oceans themselves rose in vengeance, swallowing the golden Thalkesh cities whole. Billions drowned beneath burning water. The Council sent emergency fleets to intervene. But as they approached, Terran interdictors cut through their ranks like scythes. The humans didn't speak, didn't gloat, didn't answer hails. They simply erased anything that stood between them and retribution. The fall of the Council panic consumed the Galactic Council. The Jarath Dominion declared martial law. The Viri Icespire fleets fled into deep space. The Council itself convened one last emergency session in the Citadel on Vidara Prime. They demanded humanity cease hostilities. They declared the attacks unlawful. They threatened sanctions. But even as they debated, the stars above Vidara began to flicker. Council observers stared through their skylights as dozens of Terran dreadnoughts entered orbit. Each was surrounded by shimmering fields of gravitic distortion, so powerful they warped the light of the suns themselves. The Council speaker demanded communication. The reply came not in voice, but in projection. Ambassador Hale appeared, older now, his hair white, his eyes hollow. "You mocked our dead," he said quietly. "You laughed at our pleas. You left our children burning under alien suns. Now you will listen." The speaker tried to speak, but Hale continued. "Earth is not gentle because it is weak. It is gentle because it remembers what happens when rage rules unchecked. You thought mercy was submission. You mistook silence for fear." He stepped forward, the projection's gaze cold as the void. "Now you will drown in what you created." And the skies fell. Orbital strikes tore through Vidara's defense grids. The Citadel, symbol of 1,000 years of peaceful order, crumbled beneath a rain of kinetic fire. The oceans boiled. The continents cracked. The Council's core worlds burned. And through it all, the human fleet watched from orbit in silence, as if mourning even while delivering judgment. When it was over, not a single Council seat remained occupied. The Citadel was ash and silence. The ashes and the whisper in the aftermath. The galaxy was quiet. The surviving species sent out distress signals, but none dared speak Earth's name. Entire systems went dark, choosing isolation over notice. The few alien ships that entered Terran space found only orbital beacons repeating one phrase: "Justice concluded. Do not approach." Those who survived the fall of the Council spoke of the humans not as a civilization, but as a force of nature. A Jarath chronicler wrote, "The humans are a tide that waits. They smile, they build, they trade, but beneath that calm sea lies the abyss. Disturb it and it will rise to drown the stars." The Thalkesh species was extinct. Vidara Prime was gone. The once mighty Council, 1,000 worlds strong, was reduced to whispers and ruins. And Earth rebuilt in silence. No celebrations, no triumphal broadcasts, just quiet reconstruction, as if vengeance had been a grim duty, not a victory. When asked by their own descendants why they had done it, Admiral Vale's recorded words were simple: "Because mercy without justice is permission for evil to grow." The weight of memory centuries later, when the new conquered formed among the surviving species, one question hung unspoken in every chamber: what if humanity returns? Trade resumed. Colonies expanded. But every spaceport had a story, of black ships seen at the edge of scanners, of whispers over the comms saying, "Eden remembers." Some said it was myth. Others swore it was warning. The humans themselves never returned to the Council worlds. They had withdrawn to the Sol Core, content to watch and wait. But every envoy who dared approach was met with the same cold, automated message: "Peace is granted. Do not test its limits." And so the galaxy learned that Earth's patience was vast, but its vengeance was infinite. They mocked humanity's pleas once. They laughed at our pain, called us prey, called us primitive. But in the end, when the skies burned, when the seas rose, when the proud drowned in the tide they unleashed, one truth remained, carved into the stars themselves: never provoke Earth again, because when the Council mocked our pleas, they drowned in our rage.